Hey guys, what's up? Alright, so this week it's going to be all about protein. The goal this week is going to be to find out how much protein you're taking in every day. So that's goal number one. So you're going to be weighing and measuring only your protein sources. So if you don't know what your protein sources are, check out the PDF, but stuff like eggs, meat, nuts, dairy, there's protein in cheese, your whey protein shakes, all that stuff. You want to find out how much of an average are you taking in? Okay, so that's going to be your first number. You can use old school stuff like weighing. You're going to want to weigh and measure just your protein, nothing else. So if you're eating, 2 cups of almonds, you want to be like, oh, I should only be eating a fourth, a serving size. Number 2, what we want to do over the course of a week is bump up your protein intake to at least 100 grams a day. I see this happen all the time where people, they might get in 50, then 150, and like 80 and 120. We're shooting for 100 gram average. Okay, if you're already eating 100 grams, what you're gonna wanna do is look at your protein source and make it a little bit cleaner. That's gonna be your goal. So if you intake 3 days, you find out, wow, like I'm eating like at least 120 grams a day, but some of it's coming from fattier meats, like pork or like 80% beef fat, you want to move that to like 93. So everyone has something to work on this week. If you're already eating 100 grams of protein, maybe you want to also switch over your protein source to something cleaner. Again, so if you're eating chicken, try some fish. Is one better than the other? No, but what you're doing is rotating your protein sources. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff to handle. So how you're going to get to 100 grams a day, how I do this easily, is I use my hand to measure. I make sure at every meal or snack I have what I call POP, the presence of protein. There's a presence of protein in everything I'm eating. So let's say you do your food log and at 3 o'clock you're just eating an apple. Well, that's kind of a problem because what we want is the presence of protein. There's really no protein in apple, so I need a handprint. So what could we do here? We could throw in a handful of almonds. We could cut up some cheese and make sure it's like a handprint of cheese. Obviously, I'm not going to eat this whole thing. I'm going to slice up, get about 3 ounces of cheese, or maybe some hard-boiled eggs. So another thing that I always teach my clients is to never eat a carb alone, and that's easily done by using the POP method. So this is a carb, and I'm eating it by itself. We always want to eat a carb and a protein together. So this becomes a nice little meal and snack, and that's a really easy way to meet your 100 grams all the time. When you're going through your food journal, look, what are you eating that has a lot of protein in it, and what could be a sidekick to it. So again, we always want to make sure we're eating, if a carb it's by itself, if you're just eating kind of like a Greek yogurt, that's like protein and carbs. Maybe you want to throw some nuts in it so it's a little extra loaded on the protein end. Again, goal number 1, we want to find out how much protein are you taking in. Number 2, we want to get it to at least 100 grams. And if you're already a 100 grammer, make your protein sources cleaner. Okay, again, if you're eating fattier meats or if you're eating lunch meat, then you want to move to a cleaner source, organic, grass-fed, farm-raised. Those are the words that we want to start switching over when purchasing food items. Do you want to buy everything organic? Honestly, I would say no. I'm gonna grab a sip of water real quick because it's really expensive. And if there's one thing you should buy organic, it's definitely your protein sources. So if I'm like super short on cash, like I'm definitely gonna spend my money on cage-free eggs. One, it's not good for the animal. Number 2, you're just getting a better source. You don't know where things are coming from. There could be added growth hormones, all sorts of nasty stuff that when purchasing protein, your local farmer is going to be better than even buying grass-fed from like Chile. So support your local farmers on that end. If you guys have any questions on this, again, this is a lot going on this week. So we should have our water down, our graminos and probiotics in your journal this week. There's a lot to be done. That's why that journal is so important. You're going to be writing down, okay, I got to track my proteins for today. So you're going to have to use MyFitPal or actually weighing and measuring, get a good idea of how much protein and exact amount over 3 days because everyone's food changes. okay? Having that all down, so that's a lot to get working into the program. So water should be handled by, 2 o'clock. You should be getting at least 60 ounces, shooting for 100. Graminos probiotics down first thing in the morning, so that's out of the way. Now we're really working on those macros in the journal, and that's why the journal is so important, to keep track of what's going to be going on over the next course of this week. Where are you protein deficient? Where are there areas in your meals where you don't have enough protein? There isn't a protein source. When you ask yourself, where's the presence of protein? Okay, so lots to work on. Good luck this week, and I'll be keeping in contact with you.